Meanwhile, Indigenous leaders have welcomed the Prime Minister's scrapping of proposed changes to the Racial Discrimination Act. But many do say the entire debate has done damage to relations. Sky News Indigenous Affairs reporter Dan Borscher filed this report.
Federal government's decision to take its proposed changes to the Racial Discrimination Act off the table have been widely welcomed. The Prime Minister Tony Abbott yesterday announced that he wouldn't be moving ahead with his moves to make it legal to vilify and offend a person on the basis of their race.
It had caused a lot of unnecessary stir and I guess upset across the Australian community, and it's fantastic that he's actually listened to the Australian public.
Quite frankly, this was a sideshow. Whilst I understand where George Brandis was coming from, and I understand what he was trying to do, in actual fact, as an intrusion on free speech in this country, the existing legislation is not a major intrusion.
The changes were a point of some debate at the Garma Festival in Arnhem Land over the weekend. The head of the top end's biggest Indigenous legal agency says they should never have been considered.
We're glad that the government has listened to the voice of the community, and at the end of the day, nobody should be discriminated against. Everyone should be free of racial hatred.
The CEO of the Northern Land Council, Joe Morrison, has welcomed the decision but questioned the politics behind it. He says it's interesting that this came just days after Liberal backbencher Ken Wyatt said that he'd still cross the floor if the amendments came before Parliament. The question many are asking now is this the last we'll see of these proposed changes to the Racial Discrimination Act? Dan Borscher, Sky News, Darwin.